It's Wednesday, March the 13th, 2024. I am Jay Cleveland Payne, and this is things you might not have heard for today. And what we have for you today in the queue, 8 news stories that are covering a wide range of different topics, including information, politics, current events, and pop culture news. Now, you get the chance to tell us what to talk about. This isn't something that Wolf Blitzer pulled out last night and sent me a text for it. This is you, and we'll tell you how this works out, the vetting process for stories that you call conversational after we get through the headlines, plus some fun things for today that you will enjoy. So stick around for the fun stuff. We always have a good time with that one. Now, yesterday we described the newscast as petty because I was a little tired, a little cranky. Today I'm not so tired, but the newscast pretty much just as petty. So we'll tease you that with that one, including the teaser you saw in the graphic going forward. Now, what we'll give to you with these headlines are some perspective, no particular order as they're presented, but we want to give you something that may be a bit off the beaten track for your news headlines. Go to our website. This is theconversationproject.com for more details on how we do this literally every single day. And you can check us out via email. Let us know what to talk about in other ways by going to our email machine and going to the conversation inbox at gmail.com. So let's get into the headlines for today. 8 stories, if we say, in the queue, no particular order, just how they sort of came out when we went through the mix. Let's go to story number 1. The first headline, which reads, online influencer Andrew Tate sentenced in Romania handed UK arrest warrant, his spokesperson says. A lot of commas, a lot of pauses, but we're going straight to the point for this one this morning. Andrew Tate, the well-known influencer, and his brother Tristan Tate, detained in Romania for a long time on sexual aggression related to a UK case dating back to 2012 and 2015. So these things have been a long time coming, and they've gotten arrest warrants for extradition. They're going to be extradited to the UK, to Britain, to face the music there for those charges. It's going to be an interesting exchange on all cases. So far, the blogosphere, the red pill folks haven't really gone up in arms yet. In fact, I posted something in some of the hot takes, quick takes we have, and it didn't get the reaction that I thought it would. Mainly because there are other things to be petty about, I guess. But it is a thing where Andrew Tate is a big deal, whether you like it or not, whether you want him to be or not, whether he should or not. I think the answers are, in my case, is all the negative. He's a big deal. This will be a big deal. We'll see how this plays out in a few weeks as he is extradited to the UK and how a trial or whatever goes down for there to those charges dating back literally over a decade. Let's go to headline number 2 for this morning. The headline for that one, sticking on the petty and sticking on a person who's a big staunch supporter of Mr. Tate, Candace Owens, and who has become sort of for a while, a running joke here, now more or less a kind of a sigh in a punching bag, unfortunately. Candace Owens stakes her entire reputation on wild claim. The headline didn't transfer over when I actually posted the story, so what the claim was. So going deeper into it, and you guys responded to this well, so we went deeper into this. The host of the Daily Wire has a controversial risk out there on her professional reputation, as she says straight up that her claim, and yes, she does this for clicks and for eyeballs, things like that. So please take this with many grains of salt. In fact, maybe a boulder of salt. That Emmanuel Macron, the French president, is married to a man. The French First Lady is a man. That's it. That's the claim. The French First Lady is a man and Macron is married to a dude. Denouncing the rumors that his wife's gender identity is an actual female. Why are we talking about this? I don't really have an idea. This story popped up and I really wanted to kind of skip it, but I put it in there because you guys engage in these things, and you did. Candace Owens' story. This story was the top story for yesterday with Andrew. Actually, this was the first story for yesterday with Andrew Tate being the number 2 story. So you people care to hate Candace Owens when she pops in there. It is what it is. As I used to say, I used to want to just give her a hug and wonder why she was so upset, so bitter. Now I don't care why she's so upset, so bitter. I just wish she would literally go away. Unfortunately, she's not. I guess that's good for us in the clicks here or there. Our headline for the third story this morning reads, Republican Representative Ken Buck to leave Congress next week, narrowing GOP's slim majority. Now, we have a story in the queue for this morning that goes along this and why this is here. I heard this on the radio yesterday where Ken Buck didn't want to go to the Republican retreat because he didn't want to hang out with the new Speaker of the House. That was pretty much it. He didn't want to hang out with them, and he just sort of fed up with everybody. So he's quitting Congress next week. He's not running on his term. He's not doing anything else. He is like doing like McCarthy at the end of the year when the year switched over. After he got bounced as being speaker, he left. Ken Buck, not even given to the end of the year. He's saying, I'm out of here next week. It's done. We're over. We're through. It's love your peace. We're out of here. Basically saying it's all a waste of time. What's that mean for his fourth congressional district? They got to find somebody to represent them. Usually probably some sort of either special election or might be appointed, essentially. So finding someone to pick that spot won't be so hard. It just won't be Ken Buck. What will he do going forward? Many pundits have basically said, well, if Ken Buck has something to say on the back end, we'll probably listen to him. But he's just, whining and pouting and just being a baby about it. Then Ken Buck's political career is essentially done. Story, that's headline number 4 for this morning. New Zealand to seize black boxes from LATAM Boeing 787 as passengers recount incident. This is an incident where the plane had the quick deceleration, and of course, people were thrown to the ceiling in the overseas flight. And so studies are going to figure out what the hell went on. The black boxes have been seized or will be seized fairly soon to basically get the flight data from what was happening in real time on the flight. Right now, the pundits, the people who know airplanes and know how these things work, calling this an actual mechanical error, actual plane error, where the controls were lost for some period of time and it just sort of came back and they took back control of the plane. They're not blaming this on turbulence as the main cause, although turbulence may have been something that helped shake it up, if you will. But they're saying something was wrong with the plane and they're trying to figure out what it is. 1, so it never happens again, and 2, so they can figure out how to, let's say, litigate this situation. Our headline for story number 5. Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry resigns as law and order collapses. We almost didn't put this in here. This was a teaser story from yesterday, and because of so many things out there were a couple of stories that we're not talking about because we're limited to 8. We almost didn't put this one in the main headlines, but we did because it makes sense to do that. Now, we don't really have any answers going forward, other than the fact that Ariel Henry has declared to resign amidst this weeks of increasing pressure and escalating violence in the country. The decision comes as Haiti, the impoverished nation, faces mounting challenges to maintain law and order. Right now, whatever law and order is being maintained is by the various gangs who just sort of figured out they're going to hang out and take care of stuff and just run things like they do. Not exactly how you run a sovereign nation, and not exactly great for people who want to actually interact with something that's a sovereign nation. Lawlessness is not the thing. Now, we talk about Barbecue. He is a gang member known by his Barbecue, a gang leader who's essentially become more or less the spokesperson for what's going on in Haiti. And what he has to say is pretty much all true, except you don't want to hear it from a warlord telling you how things be done. Asking for fair elections, oddly enough. We'll see how this thing plays out going forward and how these things will turn into. Essentially, there's no way they can hold an election this year. There's no way they can hold an election maybe next year. They're looking to hopefully get something in place for 2025. But till then, what does Haiti do with the government and the military and the lawlessness and what's going on? This is a terrible situation. Headline for the 6th story for this morning. Nick Saban, quote, "Things I believed in no longer exists in college sports." Nick Saban, very controversial character in college sports and all stuff. Now, Nick Saban, young enough to run for Congress, so maybe he can hang out with the other coach in Alabama and do very, very dumb things for the nation. But right now, the very recent former coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, who essentially decided to give up on coaching because his players just they weren't exactly cordial in their loss in this year's college football playoff. Basically saying that the things he believes in no longer exist. It's basically wrote this out in a piece. Comments reflect the broader sense of the change in the realm of college sports, particularly around the name, image, and likeness stuff, the NIL stuff, which becomes pivotal in the discussion of amateur and professional college sports. If you're getting paid, are you an amateur? If you're getting paid directly, are you professional? How does that work out? Now, Nick Saban apparently agrees with some sort of revenue sharing. He said something else in a different interview, something like that, and trying to get the kids some stuff. But the reality is money is being made by the football team, maybe by the basketball team, maybe by the baseball team, and pretty much all by the men's teams. In some cases, women's basketball maybe outlasts some other things, but that's where the money's coming from. So the track team, the softball team, the other teams aren't making money, but are they making money for the likenesses? And are they professionals, just professionals as the football players who are playing for, a spot for big money? Your mileage may vary on this one. Nick Saban, always a lightning rod. So you can believe what you want to believe about what he's saying, but we do know college sports is a whole different ball game, literally, nowadays. Staying petty, headline number 7, Tiki Barber chastised Saquon Barkley for Eagles deal, and Barkley wasn't having it. Oh no, he wasn't having it. Tiki Barber, who was a legendary Giants player, and then until he left and became just a general jerk and human piece of waste, criticized Saquon Barkley for his decision to sign with the Philadelphia Eagles because they are a natural rival. They're the number one rival to the Giants. He's getting $37.75 million with $26 million guaranteed, and that's the kicker right there. He's getting a big chunk of it up front, 3-year deal, and he's going to get it. It's his regardless. And Tiki was like, dude, you don't do this. And then Saquon was like, dude, don't be pissed at me. I got my money. The Eagles know my worth, and the Giants could match it, and it's there. So deal with it. Because many people, Giants current and Giants past, aren't so fond of Tiki. A lot of them just sort of begrudgingly went with Saquon, even though they weren't so happy went to rival as well. Guess what? Tiki's backing down from his big talk. I love Rondé. Tiki, not so much. And finally, the pettiest of the petties, headline number 8 this morning. Simone Biles' husband, Jonathan Owens, reportedly signing 2-year deal with Chicago Bears. Now, the big talk about all this signings is it's free agency, and the underlying joke is that Jerry Jones, the Dallas Cowboys, are the only team to not have made a signing on day 1 and maybe day 2, not put any real money on anybody big to shift things around, which is a running joke for Dallas Cowboys fans. The running joke in the Owens home is that it's the Biles home. Simone Biles, the outstanding gymnast, more famous, maybe more athletic, probably making more money in a sense than her husband, Jonathan Owens. Now, Jonathan Owens, a very good football player, moving from the Packers to the Bears, but the headlines and the jokes went to calling him Mr. Simone Biles. Now, here's the thing. Tom Brady, maybe one of the greatest football players of all time, quarterbacks of all time. He's married to a very famous, very stout model, Gisele Bündchen. And we call him Tom Brady. But we know he's Mr. Gisele Bündchen. It's there. Tom's got that level where he gets that clout, but he still knows his place. In fact, Tom Brady's out there babysitting the kids while his ex-wife's out there partying and doing whatever. And he's like, you know what? Yeah. Because she outmakes him by so much. It's just ridiculous. Jonathan Owens got him a catch, pun intended. So love him, his wife, and love the relationship, and we love watching them be all cute. And yes, Travis Kelce is Taylor Swift's boyfriend as well, so we understand that. Nickelodeon even called him Taylor Swift's boyfriend in the Super Bowl coverage. Deal with it, guys. Your lady is more famous than you. Love it, live it, tell everybody else to just suck it. Let's move on to our apologies, errors, and omissions section. Today, as we said, we almost moved the Haiti story to this part because it sort of got some attention, but we put it in the main 8 headlines. What we're doing here right now in the omissions is a story that would have got missed all over the place because it really snuck by the radar all over the place, literally all by himself. That is Eric Carmen, the singer of All By Myself, died a few days ago at the age of 74. So if you could go ahead and put the earworm in your head, go ahead and play it on the Spotify. Give his estate a little bit extra money. I played it a good 5-6 times yesterday morning after I heard the news and put it into the lineup for this. Very good response. Actually, number 11 story out of 15 this morning's headline. So it had a good chance. It had a real reason to be there. But we had to get the petty stories in, and because, sometimes you just got to be petty. It is what it is. Let's talk about our teaser story for this morning. The teaser story is a news headline that we put out there for you to jump onto and know what's coming out there so you know what to expect. Like we said, yesterday's teaser was a story about the Prime Minister of Haiti resigning, and it made it in there. It was pretty prominent. It was there, and we talked about it. Will we talk about this story today? And this one's going to be a little bit, if you're watching this live from the 5:50 a.m. broadcast, this is going to take a few hours to actually show up in the feed. But this is one we think when people kind of get the news will be a big deal. And there's a lot of things out there. The one we were going to go with was the story about people pretending to be foxes, wearing fox masks, dressed up as foxes to treat this orphan fox. And it was scary. This one, a bit more scary in what the actual implications of the world are. Performers and speakers pull out of South by Southwest over U.S. Army sponsorship. The Army sponsors a lot of culture events because they want people to be all you can be is not the statement anymore. They want people to see them out there and see what to do. The Army is a great way to find a career, find a life, find things to do if you don't know what you're doing. But their job is to defend our nation, and they do it, with arms. They do it with force. That's kind of how it works. Many performers who are falling to the side of the Gaza side, the Palestinian side, in the conflict in Israel and Gaza, are pulling out of South by Southwest because the Army is actually sponsoring the event. We want to talk about this one? You let me know. Go to our feeds on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/This Is a Conversation Project. And Twitter, X.com, th_conversation. Go to those websites, follow our links, follow our pages there. And what you just do is simply look at the stories as they come through in the field. You may not see this one at the time. You may see other stories out there because we post them every 50 minutes. Check us out directly so you can see what's out there and just click a couple things that you like to read and see. Like them, love them, hate them, share them. The more engagement scores they get, the emoji things and shares and things like that, better chance we have a talk about the stories the next day. On Tuesday through Friday, we talk about 8 of the top 15 stories per the previous day. Monday will give you 10 stories from top 30. We get 30 or so in a day's part, so that's how we get that number. And will this be in the top 15? If it is, chances are it's going to be one of the 8 stories you pull for our headlines for tomorrow. So if you want to talk more about this, performers pulling out with South by Southwest because the Army is a big part of it, you can make that decision. Let's go to our spotlight sponsor, and this is the Chess Store. The Chess Store is very prominent to my house because chess is very prominent to my house. Chess is something my daughter and I play. I don't play her very often because she's much better than I am. And this weekend, we actually got a chance to work at a chess tournament. She actually volunteered for our chess queen, Miss Georgia, at the church. And I got a chance to proctor chess. I got a chance to tell chess geniuses, yeah, that's a checkmate. No, that's not a checkmate. You talk too much. No, that's a legal move. I got a chance to do that, which was a great experience. You don't have to experience proctoring a chess tournament, but you can love the game of chess. And if you don't love the game of chess, the beautiful chessboards at the Chess Store can help you find some love for it, or at least have people think you love it, which makes people think you're smarter. It works out that way. Go to thisisaconversationproject.com/the chess store. This is a conversationproject.com/the chess store, and check out the Chess Store. Great sets that are made of all sorts of materials. They're vinyl sets, metal sets, plastic sets that are not cheesy, cheap looking, look great, and travel sets that you'll be proud to pull out at an airport, at a travel stop, in your Airbnb, and have people just wonder about the game of chess and how beautiful it is. So, what a beautiful travel set. Also, there's little chess things like accessories, things you can use just for decoration, and it's all there at the Chess Store. Check them out at this. It's a conversationproject.com/the chess store. This is an affiliate link, so as you click the links there and buy stuff from them, we get a small commission. Costs you nothing extra, but they're going to take good care of you and your chess needs at the Chess Store. It is now time to promote ourselves. A little love to the Conversation Project, and much love on this day because we have extra special stuff going today. Now, we tell you every time we get here to follow the feeds on Facebook and Twitter to tell us what stories to talk about. That is how we get the news stories to talk about every single weekday morning. We tell you to email us at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. We can chat on those things as well. You can tell me, hey, I didn't like the way you did this thing, or hey, Jay, good job, keep up going. One way you can really help and get really connected is by becoming a partner. And this is, in all sense, this is the pledge drive stuff. This is you pledging to help us out. On Tuesdays, we do now the $2 holler thing, and on Friday, we'll tell you if anyone actually jumped onto the $2 quick hit there. But on Wednesdays, as we get in new subscribers, new people coming to us, buy me a coffee, we will give them hype and love. And I don't have a slide for that, but I'm just going to give you the names. We had 2 new partners, 2 new subscribers coming into the family as of this weekend. Harold Braxton and Colby Green. Thank you so much. Buying in the $5 Good Cup of Coffee subscription. So every month they're going to send us $5 to help us get more things done. Thank you so much for that. There are various levels of things, including just a simple $1 gift, just because the pocket change makes a difference. If you want to get in on this one, go to our partnerships page. You see that scrolling at the bottom of the screen if you're watching video. You can also go to buymeacoffee.com/jclevelandpayne, which is essentially where it's going to take you to, and Venmo and Cash App at jclevelandpayne as well, just for a big time donation if you want to do that as well. But we enjoy having this. We enjoy doing this. And to do this, it takes time, takes effort, takes resources. We're thanking Harold Braxton and Colby Green for joining in on the team. And they also get extra access to some things and first look at things and the chance to basically yell at me first. So if you want that opportunity, by all means, jump in. Otherwise, free stuff is awesome. Make sure you're emailing us with your tips if you can't afford us, or just engaging the stories so we have the stories to talk about. Didn't know that was going to take so much time, go that much long, but we're going to get into our fun stuff for the day right now. So let's do that a little quickly, but we'll take care of that as we always do. Fun stuff always begins with birthdays, and the birthdays we're kicking off today with is Dana Delaney. Now, this may seem like another sort of kiss up to Christina with a K, with Dana Delaney being our pick for today. Did help me pick this as the 3 we put on in the newsletter, but is actually just one of the ones that just sort of made the more sense in what's going on. Actually, it was deeper detailed on that one. Of course, she did a $2 howl last week, and we had a tiff on that one, a little rib on that one. So Dana Delaney, she helped me pick this today. The other 2 folks, because they're just so together, Common and Jack Harlow, 2 rappers, one of my generation, one of a generation coming up as well. So birthdays for the day, starting off with Dana Delaney, who's 68. Happy birthday to you. Star of many TV shows, of course, many movies. China Beach, one that just kind of prominent in my pop culture head. Common, 52 years old today, and Jack Harlow, who is 26, almost a verse in there. So you got that going on. For our history lesson, on this day in 2012, the Encyclopedia Britannica announced that it would no longer publish printed versions of its encyclopedia. Now, I've said this story before. Back in high school, back in the 11th grade, my folks bought this very huge, very extensive version of Britannica that had the encyclopedias, the atlas, whatever. It took literally like a whole wall to cover all these books. They spent a lot of money on the stuff for myself and my sister to have the stuff, and I tried to read the whole thing because I'm a nerd like that. In 2012, which is well past my prime of high school, they decided paper books weren't worth it, and they have not been for quite some time. They have an electronic version where they have all the knowledge there. You can get to an encyclopedia version. Of course, there's always Google and all the news sites that have all the fake information as well. And an extra birthday, if you will. Today is Ken Day. Celebrate the birth or the creation, as Ken was released on this day back in the day. So with all the Kenergy going out there from the Barbie movie, and of course Ryan Gosling doing his I'm Just Ken performance a few days ago, it's apropos to celebrate your kin on this Ken Day. This week, we're taking extra time, extra effort to remind folks of sort of the downness of things. It is spring, although in some places they're still getting more winter. So it is spring. We're getting to new birth, new areas, and it's a time to kind of celebrate and go up. Sometimes spring and new birth and new life is a trigger for folks to feel down. If you are feeling down and need someone to talk to someone at the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. You can call them or text them on 988 on your cell phone, and you can visit them online at 988lifeline.org. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have people speaking to you in English and Spanish. Whatever it is that has got you down, whatever it is that is weighing on you heavily, it can be handled, it can be worked out. Enough time, enough energy, and some help can get you there. And they will find you some help to get you there. With that, let's wrap it up for this day. It's Tuesday, March the 12th. No, it's not. It's Wednesday, March the 13th. We didn't change the last slide. So, well, there's one thing we can put in our errors and apologies for the day. We have the wrong day in the slides. That happens. Thank you so much for joining us for this day. We can't do this thing without you here in the conversational sphere, I guess. We love you. We mean it. It's all about the good things, good tidings. Oh, that's odd. Didn't know that was going to happen. Okay. Oh, I turned on the closed captioning. There we go. Let's do that. Oh, amazing. Some live action video. So Wednesday, March 13th, 2024. Thank you so much for being with us on the show. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne. Maybe we'll do that in the future. See how that works out with closed captioning inside of the thing. And we just need to tell you to stay limber, stay hydrated, stay on task for all the grand things you're to do for the world. If you need some help, 988 on your cell phone. Call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. We need help. So make sure you're following us on our feeds and giving us the headlines, insights, and of course, emailing us at the conversation inbox at gmail.com. And consider being a partner, and you too can help us do more stuff, great stuff here. With that, I think we've gone long enough. Thank you so much for being with us here. Prep for a very good Thursday, because we're going to prep for a very good Thursday, because that's the best we can do. We might try to shoot that closed caption thing. That was kind of cool. We'll see how that works out in the future. Calling the future, which is actually just tomorrow.